Hi, so welcome back. We're still working on the Directory of Open Access Journals reload. We have completed the first steps, and we just completed reviewing the titles not in file. There were 77 of them. We went through them, looked at them for maintenance, and once we are done with that, we can review our load results from the first load that we ran in the first video. And those are in the View Results tab in the coverage load module. As you can see, for the coverage load, there were 9,312 lines processed, and in the catalog load, same thing. That's always good. You want those numbers to match up. You can look at the coverage updates, and you can see, so the insert successfuls are going to be new entries in the coverage database, and everything looks good there. We're really worried about the catalog updates page, so we're going to go ahead and save that load report. So I'm going to title it load1.txt. We're going to put it in our DOAJ folder. We're going to save that. So now we're going to open the load one. And if you want to keep track of what happened, that's always a good thing. So you can put multiple ISSNs, and there are 4 of them, multiple titles. There's 1, no match on ISSN or title. There were quite a few. 76. And no search, there were 73. So with 76 and 73, no matches means that that title and that ISSN was not found in the all good bibs list. Sometimes it's just a problem with Sierra, and it will find it whenever you do the create brief bibs, but normally it doesn't. And the no search means it didn't find it anywhere in Sierra, so those are definitely going to be brief bibs whenever we run load 2. So what we really want to see is we want to see a lot of found as links. Found as links means it was already in the system and it just updated the DOAJ part. So found as link is good because that means you have very little maintenance to do on them. So you can see where if you were running a giant load, this would take a little bit. Just even scroll down. So we have 9115, and then these are check-ins created, and we have 43. So 9115, 43, found as linked, check-ins created, total. We want the total to match 3112. That looks right. If we had a log, we could put this in the log. But what I'm going to do now is, since there's 43 check-in created, I'm going to review them just to show you a maintenance procedure that you can do. Often in DOAJ, a check-in will be created due to an ISSN changing from a print to an electronic, or part of the title changes and there is no ISSN. So we actually have it in our system, but we don't have the but it looks different, so it attaches to something that it shouldn't. So let me just show you here. So catalog ERM. So it found these based on the ISSN. So that's what it created just now. That looks good. So that's a good one. That one worked out. You usually want to look on the title if it has an ISSN, but because this has a lot of diacritic issues and we're in Excel, I'm going to go ahead and look on the ISSN. So we have an academic search complete, and we have a directory of open access. So when we get done with this one, we're going to want to run a load so that we can add the open access 690 here. And also for DOAJ, because a lot of the things are in the URLs are in the bibs as well, we want to see if this URL is going to match the DOAJ URL. And so we're going to run a list at the end and see about that, because if it does, we can go ahead and remove the 856. So this is really the procedure for this. It's reviewing the check-ins created just to make sure things don't look out of whack, and hoping we get to one that's a little strange. So as you do these, you can sort of guess which ones are going to look weird. Since these all have ISSNs, it's likely that they're okay. They're connecting via the ISSN, so they're going to connect to the right bib. The one thing that could be a little strange with it is there could be 5 Asian journal surgeries, and we haven't run into that yet. But because these all connected via the ISSN, I am going to stop and not really look at these. If you want, I think a spot check might be good, just a couple. This one's probably worth looking at, so let's look at this. And I say that because this one does not have an ISSN, so let's take off that identifier, and it looks like it is good. So that's good. And this is also one of those situations where you're in the record. If you do end up checking all these, you are in the record. So you may want to consider doing the maintenance as you do it. You know, it can get time consuming doing it. So it's just sort of up to you. If it created maybe 5 or 6, I would probably just check them all and go ahead and do the maintenance, because then I wouldn't have to run the create list afterwards. But since we're going to have a lot of brief bibs created, and we're going to have a lot of no searches and things, we are going to end this video, and I will lead you through load 2 here in a second.